The spirit of every culture lies in the coexistence of tradition and innovation. Representing this vitality and essence, blood is often regarded as a symbol of life. Yet many Western cuisines traditionally emphasize cooking meat thoroughly until the juices, often mistaken for blood, are gone. The French dining table is different, and one particular dish defies this convention. Steak tartare is a classic French dish which features raw beef and is reserved for the most daring diners. Hey, it's Jun. I am a chef and a biology enthusiast. Along with my good friend Zhang Yunjia, I'm exploring food that connects China and France. As a chef, eating meat wholeheartedly is a source of joy. China is a major meat-producing country with the largest livestock industry in the world. The French are total meat lovers, each person consuming an average over 100 kilograms of meat per year, twice the global average. In this episode, I'll travel between farms and restaurants in France and China on a culinary adventure for meat enthusiasts. Our journey starts from the Bresse region of eastern France. The owner of these chickens is anything but ordinary.
So today we're visiting a local farmer. He's known as the king of Bresse chicken. Let's go check it out. Good morning. Bonjour. Bonjour. Ça va? Yes. Let's go. Wow. This is a lot.
Ça c'est toutes les récompenses que j'ai gagnées aux Glorieuses de Bresse. Les Glorieuses de Bresse, c'est les concours où on expose nos volailles. Et j'ai la chance d'avoir tous ces trophées. Donc 2014, 2024.
原来这个是鸡的选美的奖。
Every December, the Bresse region holds a prestigious poultry competition. Degluer is like royalty in this sphere, having won countless awards. The chickens he raises are even used in dishes served at state dinners.
It's lunchtime. Today's menu, corn.
The Bresse chicken is often regarded as an iconic and celebrated symbol of France. They are raised under strict conditions. There must be at least 10 square meters of free-range space per animal, with ample room to roam. From their 35th day onward, their diet consists of wheat, maize, and milk products, along with worms, grass, seeds, and insects from grazing. In 1957, Bresse poultry was awarded Appellation d'origine contrôlée status, identifying it as an agricultural product whose farming and preparation takes place within a designated area. Only specific poultry raised in the region may be called Bresse chicken.
Oh, too easy, too easy.
Le poulet de Bresse, il a les pattes bleues, le plumage bien blanc et la crête rouge. Bleu, blanc, rouge, comme la France.
Just like the French flag, blue, white, red.
C'est ça.
Beautiful. 我抱起来吗？My turn? Okay. Okay. That's good. Yes. Calm down. Calm down, Ryan. Okay? Whoa.
Joli poulet.
It's so beautiful. It's clean, huh?
Bien blanc.
He said to leave the feathers on to make sure that this is real Bresse chicken. The main thing is to be able to see the colors, blue, white, red. So you need to brush until it's a handsome chicken. 跟我每一天的动作差不多一样啊。
To verify their authenticity, each chicken receives a seal on its neck and matching label on its back, issued by the official body representing the Bresse poultry industry. Due to strict rearing conditions, around 1.5 million Bresse chickens are processed each year.
Well, it's quite unfortunate with such a beautiful chicken. You can't find this in China because the farmer, he only produces a small amount, so it cannot be shipped everywhere. But if you want to have a taste of Bresse, you really need to come here.
Limited supply makes Bresse chicken very expensive, priced at over 300 RMB, around $40 per kilogram. For the most traditional Bresse chicken dish, let's head to a local restaurant.
Morning, chef.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Well, thank you for your time. I know you are very busy today. Let's make this a signature Bresse chicken dish. Yes? Let's get started.
D'accord.
Yeah. Please. Oh, it's okay. You burn the feather? 跟我们中国一样，是会用那个火枪烧那个毛。这个是 oyster of the chicken， 是最好最嫩的。
Chef Chardonnay is demonstrating how to make a classic creamy, slow-cooked Bresse chicken. In China, the Qingyuan chicken is often used instead of Bresse, and the flavor is just as good.
黄酒有点像我们中国那些花雕酒，那个香气真的很像。Let me try.
This cream?
Yeah, cream. The sauce is really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
有点脆，有点口感，不是很烂、很软的那种鸡皮。
The restaurant where this dish was just prepared is located in Village Blanc, a complex within the town of Vonas. From roadside sculptures to restaurants and shops, everywhere you look, you'll spot chickens in various forms. Created by the 3 Michelin-starred chef Georges Blanc, this is an entire gourmet village. And to experience the most elevated version of this prized chicken, usually reserved for state dinners, you must visit Chef Blanc's restaurant.
I'm finally here at Georges Blanc's restaurant. It's every chef's dream to meet the legendary Georges Blanc. Now, when greeting a man with such high caliber, you gotta dress respectably.
This part of the story began in 1872 with Georges Blanc's grandmother, Elisa. She was a smart and hard-working woman who used butter and fresh cream to prepare local ingredients like chicken or duck, winning her high praise from the locals. She went on to run a restaurant affectionately called Aunt Blanca's Home. Despite aspiring to join the Air Force as a pilot, Georges Blanc did not pass the entrance exam due to color blindness. However, in 1962, he graduated from culinary school, ready to help his grandmother and mother manage their restaurant. The restaurant has been visited by numerous celebrities. Walls covered in signed photographs resemble a museum documenting eras gone by. Beyond the allure of the restaurant's menu, people visit in the hope of meeting Chef Georges Blanc in person.
I know your country for a long time.
Yeah.
First time I was in Hong Kong for a promotion in 1982.
In 82, yes. When was the last time?
Quite different.
Yeah, it is. It's changed
And I
so
was
much.
many times in Shanghai and in Peking.
Yeah.
At the age of 82, Blanc has spent much of his life cooking chicken, among other things, of course. The recipe for the state dinner version of the Bresse chicken dish has been passed down through 3 generations, becoming more of a ritual than a culinary process. There are 3 stages to ready a Bresse chicken for a state dinner. First, primping and preening, both inside and out. Next, the chicken must dress to impress in a handcrafted, custom-made pastry suit.
So it's a coarse salt. 这个粗盐不是细盐。Okay. Whole mouth is salt. Can I see? Thank you.
Finally, the dish of honor is roasted in the oven at a high temperature. 4 hours later, the headliner is ready.
Local chicken with this sauce made with local butter and local cream. And with just one bite, you get to taste flavors of Bresse.
Eating meat can be a complex affair. However, food lovers from around the world journey thousands of miles to Village Blanc to enjoy chicken at a restaurant that has maintained 3 Michelin stars for 43 years and counting. While meat is the hallmark of this French village, a city in China is also world-renowned for its distinctive way of enjoying meat.
In Bresse, it's courteous to dress up and use proper utensils when fine dining. But in Ningxia, this dish is called 手抓羊肉, which literally means hand grab lamb meat. And that's because back in the nomadic days, utensils were not readily available. And so the only way to eat is with your hands.
This lamb comes from Yanchi, Ningxia Hui Autonomous Region, a city renowned for its salt. In ancient times, salt was a resource as valuable as gold. With over 20 salt lakes, the area naturally became strategically significant. Even now, in a time of peace, salt continues to quietly shape the city. This land of saline alkali has nurtured a world-renowned delicacy, Yanchi Tan sheep. To uncover the secret behind its delicious flavor, let's visit a sheep farm. At 5 a.m., the sheep call out hungrily, eagerly awaiting their first nutritious meal of the day. The mountain closure and grazing ban policy has allowed this breed to settle. Once roaming the vast saline alkali land in search of food, they now line up for their meals instead. A specialized traditional Chinese herbal formula is used to replicate the wild diet of Yanchi Tan sheep as closely as possible. Adapting free-range grazing into pen farming changes more than just their food. After breakfast, they line up and assemble. Just like humans, tan sheep must embrace balance. To maintain an ideal weight of 16 to 18 kilograms, they run both morning and evening. And also, just like humans, they sometimes slack off. Finally back in their pen, they face yet more of life's chores.
汤养2个多月就要剃毛，因为毛里会有那个寄生虫，然后夏天快来了，会防止过热。
Yanchi's climate is arid. To prevent desertification, local authorities have enforced mountain closure and grazing ban since 2003. Scientific farming has actually elevated the reputation of tan sheep meat. Like breast chicken, dishes featuring tan sheep are often seen at state dinners. Local herders, however, favor the most traditional method of preparation.
This Yanchi lamb is so good, there's no better way than the traditional boiling method.
sheep are currently exported to Europe only in very limited quantities. Fortunately, the French do not consume much lamb, as when it comes to eating meat, they are never short of options.
France, the best place to eat meat inside the butcher shop. It's cooked inside pastry. A lot of pork meat with foie gras, this one. Wow, 很鲜. 13-hour roast beef.
In French butchers, fresh meat can be sold raw or prepared on the spot. Each shop has its own signature dish.
I'm in Liban, Bordeaux, and there's one type of meat that Louis XIV loves very much, and it's made here in this butcher shop, which has been open since 1892. We have master butcher here, David.
Bonjour, Jun.
Yes. He's going to show us his recipe for boudin noir. Let's get started.
Alors, dans le récipient, nous avons les oignons confits au préalable. Alors, pour la préparation de 6,75 kg de boudin noir, nous avons besoin de 2,75 kg d'oignons.
Boudin noir, or blood sausage, was originally invented by farmers to make full use of slaughter byproducts. In an era without modern refrigeration, French farmers preserved pork by making sausages and air drying them.
就把肉炒熟，然后加那个血进去。血来了。
Pig's blood is rich in iron and protein. It's also very cheap. To avoid waste, farmers have put much thought into its use.
其实我们穿那个厨艺有意义的。他说，那个红色的颜色变成黑色就熟了。
After feasting at the butcher's, I continue my journey. I'm now searching for a breed of beef cattle known as the messenger of Sino-French friendship.
I'm in the Rhone Alps region, where the sky is blue and the grass is green. It's a paradise for the Charolais cattle. However, it's winter, which means they're hiding in the barn.
These creamy white Charolais cattle originate from the Charolais and Nièvre regions in central France. They are renowned for their rapid growth, high meat yield, and docile temperament.
感觉刷一个地毯一样，超干净，不要洗澡了你。
The hallmark of Charolais cattle is their remarkable adaptability. This is also why they have been able to cross borders, gaining worldwide recognition. China is even home to a cherished memory of them, dating back over 50 years.
Over 50 years ago, the starting point of Charolais cattle began right here in these red brick houses. The elder I'm about to meet is a living witness to this history. 你好，
在门哦，
你好，你好，好，
这个是74年建的，当时的种牛舍，这么好的，你看，51年了，一点没变。这个当时左手住的我们这个养牛的员工，右手这一块是种牛室，原样的，你看看这个牛槽子。
In 1973, then French President Georges Pompidou visited China and presented the Chinese premier Zhou Enlai with 50 Charolais cattle. As breeding stock, some were entrusted to Inner Mongolia.
我们这本地牛的当时饲养方法，越冬到这个季节都瘦的三角形的。你看这个白牛的膘，当时我们高兴得不得了了。我今天也是过了这么多年，看着这个房子，心里都非常亲切。毕竟年轻时候在这住的啊，40-50年了。
More than 50 years later, the Charolais cattle in Inner Mongolia have been given a new name, Ujimqin white cattle. As a national gift, the white cattle have influenced the lives of several generations and have long been part of everyday life here.
In Liban, we had a magnificent spread of meat prepared in various French styles. Here in Inner Mongolia, the ways locals eat meat rivals any competition. Come follow me. All right, let's dig in. 一点盐，其他都没。蒙古包子全是肉，牛窝骨、牛膝盖，一边肥一边劲。搞个肉肠，虽然那个盐是很深，但不是血肠，是肉肠，因为肌红蛋白很多。来个肉饼。那么多肉还不算完，老板还是特意为我准备一个必吃的主食。Let's go check it out。吃了那么多面，第一次在肉里面找面条。
你就慢，让他快点走的话，就这样，把就这样，他就那就会快点了。你听懂我的话吗？听懂。
Jiramutu is a second-generation white cattle breeder. In 1988, his father bought 7 Charolais cattle at the Daqing Baoliger Ranch for local breeding almost 40 years ago. When he learned I was a chef, he insisted on showing me how the herders eat Ujimqin beef.
So this is cow dung. It's actually been dried, quite lightweight. And here you have fresh beef. And I think this is a very cool ecosystem where you have the beef and then you have the waste. Nothing's thrown away.
Ujimqin beef requires about 2 hours of cooking. Like tan sheep meat, simply stewing it in plain water is enough to bring out its flavor. As for preparing Ujimqin beef, I still recommend boiling it or using it in hot pot. But if you want to try something special, allow me to help.
做汉堡肉饼一定要加点肥肉，我的比例8瘦2肥。这个比骑马简单多了。
Throughout human evolution, one dietary habit has provided tremendous impetus for brain development: eating meat. Today, meat not only provides nutrition, but also flavor. Enjoying it can be a ritual, and it can be symbolic of an entire region. Whether in China or France, what we eat has long gone beyond being merely sustenance. From farm to table, meat bears witness to every advance in human civilization.